Hello and welcome to The Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Kimberly Whitfield, and as usual, I'm very excited to be here today with some incredible ladies. I feel like I always say that, but I'm authentically always super excited for the shows that we have. So you're in for a great show. So today we're going to be talking about, in this age of social media, we're going to be talking about social media branding, lifestyle branding, and social media influence. And we have two of the most amazing ladies here today to help us to learn a little bit more about how they have grown and created their impact and learned and are helping to just guide others, I guess, or just educate others and help them to be better in this age of social media. So we have Lyndell Werling. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Lyndell is a national TV host of The Finest Women in Real Estate. I know you've been on, because of that, you've been on so many other television shows, and she's also a personal stylist, so she takes her own experience into helping clients, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. And we also have Hannah Forcier. I feel so proper saying your last name. I love it. It's very proper. Saying it the right way, right?
Yeah, that's it.
So Hannah is a social media influencer, and you have quite a story, and I'm very excited to hear a little bit about your story and for you to share with the world how you got to where you were. So we'll come right back to you to chat a little bit more about that. But I'm excited for this show because this is like an easy flowing conversation. There's only three of us. We can just kind of go back and forth, and I know that you all have some things that you'd love to share, and I'm just really excited to kind of hear a little bit, Lyndell, about how you got started, because you have so much experience and you've done so much to get to where you are, and you're impacting so many people who want to do similar things. And so I'd love to just kind of hear how you got to where you are, maybe encourage somebody else to follow their dream or get in touch with you to get help themselves.
Sure, thank you. And it is one of those things that is a battle of attrition, right? When you set out with a goal and a dream, it takes time, and not everybody's had the success that Hannah will share with you of having it happen overnight. So for me, when I started my own company and went into wardrobe styling, I had to figure out a number of different things, and it took some time. It took some failures, which are really only evidence that you're on the path to succeeding because you're getting closer. So for me, it was endurance, it was planning, and then it was leveraging social media and connections with people, which is how I got involved with The Finest Women in Real Estate. And then, to make a very long story short, coming into TV because it's such a powerful platform to share a message, especially when it helps other people, which this show definitely does, providing content that can be useful, that can be actionable, and can help others to access their dreams and make them a very near reality.
Amazing. And maybe dreams they didn't even know they had.
Right, you can grow into creating a vision, into masterminding your own life success and live your fullest life.
Absolutely, I love it. And I'm really encouraged by your journey and the growth. I mean, I look at you and I see somebody who's been a television host for, they've been trained in it, and they've been it for their entire life pretty much, and that's not the case. I mean,
no.
Did you so you, and I know that you probably, well, I know it's probably happened, you've definitely set yourself apart as a personal stylist because you're in the space that people who need stylists and who need, etiquette and things like that are in, and you are doing it and you're teaching it.
Right. And probably the thing that I would share with people and tell people to do is put yourself in a position to succeed, and in parallel with that, prepare. So I've always been one to invest in education and training. So for the TV hosting, that's not a natural thing for most people. So I had to go and find people that could help me. There was Toastmasters, which I had been involved with for a very long time. But then I said to myself, I need to find somebody who knows how to do this. So I got a media coach who was an award-winning career journalist to help me reshape the way that I would think on camera, the way that I was using social media, and really refine what it is in my message and my brand that I wanted to share with others.
Amazing. And you have a brand, you are a brand all in yourself. And so I think that is just a testament to everything that you've done has helped create the
I
you
appreciate
that you are
that.
now.
Yeah, you know, it's work, and then there's like plateaus where you get to a point where you feel like you're accomplishing what you set out to do, but that never just happens on its own. There's work.
Yeah, totally. Well, we love it. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you.
It's beautiful to be interviewing you. I'm kind of intimidated to be interviewing a host that's been hosting for far longer than I have.
Oh my.
So thank you for being here with me today.
My pleasure.
And so Hannah, you have quite a story in how you became the successful social media influencer that you are, and I know that Lyndell had mentioned like not making mistakes, but like failures, right? And so failures, things that
I've failed.
And things that happen that don't seem so great in the moment,
Right.
leading to maybe that life you didn't necessarily expect to have, but leading to a huge blessing. So I'd
Absolutely.
love for you to share with us and share with the viewers your journey.
Oh yeah, so wow, I moved from Northern New Hampshire to LA to maybe act, to get into modeling, things like that, everything that is all based on looks, surprisingly. And I got really lost throughout the past 3 years that I've been here. And in that, I have worked regular jobs and stuff, and I refound a love of entertainment through doing not YouTube necessarily back in the day, but I started daily live streaming and being just an online personality, like on this like little tiny app where people would just pop in and say, "Hi, what's up?" And I would just end up telling a story about my day that's ridiculous, something really funny, and I just ended up being like kind of a fun personality doing that. And growing on there and trying to find myself in LA led me to making some very poor decisions. Including when I ended up really getting low on money, I started doing my hair at home. And at that point, my hair was a bleach blonde, and I was dyeing it pink and purple and every other color to stand out. That's all I wanted, was to stand out. And then by doing my hair at home and putting the wrong product in it, it all fell out within 5 minutes of putting it in my hair.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that point, I didn't know what to do. I was living with 2 of my best friends, and I just like come out of the shower and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Like, it's all coming out. It must have been the product, but I don't know what to do with it now. And my friends were like, okay, well, let's try maybe putting extensions in, let's do something. But I was missing chunks on the side. I was too afraid to wash the rest of it out of my hair. And then I went to a salon that was open down the road from me, and it was like 8 o'clock at night. So I ran in there, and now all the ladies are all around me, and they're like, "Sweetie, we're gonna have to just shave it all to match the sides." And yeah, I thought I'd found myself. I really had thought that I like was so confident, and I'd found who I was and who I wanted to be. And in that moment, I didn't feel like I felt like no one. I felt like I didn't know me. And because I had a small following from the live streaming, and then I had all my friends and family who follow me on Instagram and Facebook, where you check in on everyone that you don't see every day. I just wanted to make a video talking about how I had lost my hair, and I had no idea what I was going to do at that point. So that's what I did. It was like an 8-minute video of me sitting there with my hood up, wearing a hoodie, and crying, and then in the end I took it off, and you could see that all my hair was gone. And I posted that video, and this was just crazy. Within like a week or two, all of a sudden the video was at 1 million views, and then 2 million views, and now Cosmopolitan's emailing me, and MTV's asking to put me on their Snapchat, and it was crazy. But all of that sounds amazing, that now my story's out there, great, a girl messed up, did the wrong thing in her hair, and now there's people that feel bad for me online. And then now, because it's grown so much more, now I'm getting a lot of hate from people saying that I did it on purpose. I just wanted people to look at me. I just wanted this and that. But because people had so many questions, I made a follow-up video.
Okay, so stop right there.
Sure.
We want to hear,
Sure.
I want to hear more. I'm sure the viewers do too. We have to take a short break, so don't go anywhere. You're watching The Finest Women in Real Estate. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, how are you today?
Good.
I'm here to talk about how with technology you can make amazing worlds. Come with me. My team and I bring the Halo world to life.
Is that you?
That is me. I wasn't a math genius, and I knew nothing about coding. But you guys do. You guys have the power to change things.
I want your job.
I want you to have my job.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Hello and welcome back to The Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Kimberly Whitfield, and we are joined today with Lyndell Werling. She is a personal stylist and a national television host, and Hannah Forcier, who is a social media influencer. And where we left off with Hannah talking about how her journey and her experience, it didn't necessarily feel so good. I'm sure there was a lot of impact internally and growth that happened through that, which is beautiful. I mean, I guess it's a blessing. When you get to be stripped down to the core, it really makes you decide how you want to show up in the world. And so you did that. You did it beautifully.
You refined yourself, really.
And so we were talking. You were just sharing how your video went from to millions of views, and then you started getting bombarded in a good way. And so we want to hear about that and how that process went.
So it was really interesting because then I went to posting 2 videos a week. Instantly, I was like, okay, people are now asking me more things about it and more things about me. And that made me feel really good because everyone found me from me crying and being really sad about how I looked. And I didn't want anyone thinking that I rely that heavily on how I look to be who I am, but that's how I felt in the moment. So it was cool that I was able to keep going and people were still watching. So I got to be the funny personality, the person that, was just kind of like the big sister role for a bunch of kids, I have 2 younger siblings that look up to me, and so I want to be that for so many other people. So it gave me a platform. And it took a long time still for me to really grow to like myself, and at the 1-year mark of my hair falling out, I asked a few of my friends to help me shave my head again to kind of take the power back. And I was finally able to love myself looking like how I did when I really didn't. So that was really cool. But after all that, in the middle of all of that, all these wig companies started reaching out to me, and then people started watching me because they wanted to know what wigs I was gonna buy. And not that I was wearing wigs every day or anything, but it just became a really cool thing that I just dove into. So then it became my niche. It became the thing that I started doing. So wig reviews, and now it's onto testing things that people say on the internet and things like that. Now it's just a fun thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so do you want to? I'm really curious because I know before we started shooting the show, you guys were all talking about wigs, and I'm like, I don't know about wigs. This is kind of fun. You could just kind of pick whatever color without dyeing your hair. So do you want to talk a little bit about?
Sure. Yeah.
Wigs?
So I brought a few wigs today. Of course, like I said, it all happened so randomly, but I didn't realize till now that I have so much knowledge about wigs that I didn't realize I had.
You're the expert now.
I know, now I'm the wig expert. Yeah. That's really funny. So I only have 1 synthetic wig, and that is not real. It's no one's hair. It was just created. And synthetic wigs are usually a lot cheaper, and not all of them can be kept very well. And that's why a lot of people splurge a lot and they'll buy real human hair wigs. So you can go from something as simple as short, a lace front, and something very, very simple, to my new favorite wig.
Oh my goodness.
I know. So
wow.
This is my new favorite. Like I said, I've only worn it a few times, but this is all human hair.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's a lot lighter, and I don't know.
Beautiful.
It's really interesting. So
very
now I can inspire other people to buy wigs and have fun with their looks, and you don't have to damage your hair to do so.
That's really amazing. And so are you finding that these are people who don't necessarily wear wigs all the time, or people that switch them out all the time? The people that are watching your
mix. My main demographic is a lot younger, so these are kids that just want to do something cool with their hair, and mom says no, which I understand. It's something to mix up your look, or there's people that really rely heavily on feeling good about themselves based on their hair first. And so a lot of people that maybe have alopecia, something where they want to wear something instead. It's great.
And so you were saying that, like, was it Vogue, like different they were reaching out to you. So how did that go? Like, I'm sure that expanded your following even more. And how did you navigate that journey of, like, was that like nerve-wracking, or were you already comfortable, or like how did that? Obviously, it benefited your following, but just let us know a little bit about that.
That was all these like shows and things. I was also on The Doctors too. They talked about me on their segment. It was crazy, but all of that it was very sudden, right in the beginning of the video blowing up, because that's what they needed was a story. But I was still in self-hatred mode, and so I didn't really get to feel great about it still. And from the comfort of my bedroom, and then making YouTube videos at home, it's really only hits me when I leave and I get to be on things like this. That's amazing, and other talk shows, and just walk around the mall and little kids stopping me for photos. It's crazy. Wow. I've dreamt about this life, and it's crazy that I have it.
And so you were saying you felt uncomfortable, you didn't really feel prepared, and so that is, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people who are either wanting to get onto social media, get onto television, be able to present themselves, and so that's where someone like Lyndell comes in. Lyndell, do you want to talk a little bit about, maybe have you experienced other people that have come to you that have had like quick success, or they're like, oh my goodness, I have to be on a show in a month, or like, how has that gone?
Yes, it's so true. You go out into the world and you could get these opportunities that you hadn't ever thought would be right at your feet. And so one of the things that I do for people is figure out what it is that they're trying to accomplish and what their brand is. And that's really important. I know, because we know each other, that you've taken great care to make sure that your appeal is very much as the older sister. And so you would dress a way that it's presentation wouldn't alienate young women or their parents, right? And so that's the journey for people that are going to be doing things publicly, representing, a charitable cause or their product or their service. We need to figure out, as a wardrobe stylist, what it is that they want to present, and then the tactical pieces that support that and propel them into that position. So from being on TV, we wear different clothes. I might not want to wear something so plain, but when I'm on TV or I'm presenting, and I'm just kind of using the voice of my clients, they wear something that is going to resonate and establish rapport. So that's half of the battle, differentiating but establishing rapport and making themselves appear to be credible and trustworthy, and all these things that lead to the success that they want out there in the marketplace.
It is so important how you show up in the world and how you want to be seen. That's huge. You decided at a certain point you wanted to be seen as the big sister. And Lyndell, it's obvious who you want to show up as, because you're very intentional about it, and it shows. You shine brightly out there. And so I guess really not even for people who are doing television or doing interviews or social media influencers. Everyone, even people who have their normal jobs, real estate. We're on a real estate talk show, right? To show up in a way that you are portrayed in a where you have a lot of credibility, where you. Where you're just seen as the person you want to be seen. I know even for me, like I'm developing my own show, and not that I want to talk about my own show, but I'm recognizing that, how do I want to be on that show? It's going to be a slightly different show, and so it's very important, and I'm sure we'll be chatting, and you can give me some tips and pointers.
Absolutely.
So I will be hiring Lyndell too. So this is great. So I kind of, I know that we're getting short on time in this segment, but I want to just see, and we'll start with you, and we may not get to Hannah, but what's like 3 words that you would use to sort of describe what you bring to the world?
Trustworthiness, credibility, and integrity for my clients in the way they present themselves.
Amazing. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna take a break, and I'm gonna come right back to you, Hannah. So you're watching The Finest Women in Real Estate, and I know you've probably gotten so much out of this episode so far, and we have more to come. Don't go anywhere. I'm your host, Kimberly Whitfield, and we'll be right back.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But
I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
My text to emoji ratio has gotten a little out of hand.
A little?
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
First time I tried Vicodin, and it was laying around my mom's house. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Welcome back to The Finest Women in Real Estate. I'm your host, Kimberly Whitfield, and we are joined today by Lyndell Werling and Hannah Forcier. Hannah Forcier. And we left off with Hannah just talking about what impactful statement or words would you use to describe what you bring to the world?
I think what's important for my viewers on YouTube to see is that I'm very transparent and I love to entertain, and that life isn't as heavy as you think it is.
And
Yeah.
going through what you went through, that's beautiful. Coming from that experience, that you can come out on that end and have so much success and joy, and bring so much joy to the world and give others hope. And
You're in charge of your own life. You know?
absolutely design your epic life,
Yeah.
right? Amazing. Even if it's by accident.
Right. The best things come after accidents.
I think so, yes, I love it. I love the inspiration behind that. Lyndell, I'd love for you to share with the audience just what's the last thing that you would love to just give to the world that we haven't yet chatted about?
In light of what we're talking about today with media and social media and influencing, I believe that everyone can be an influencer, because what we take out into the world, we have talents and we have gifts, and they're meant to be shared. So, like for example, I see you influencing people that are going through a hard time, that there's sunlight on the other side. And if you're a parent or you're in real estate, whatever it is that's your life's calling and your work, you can influence other people to be positive, to show them how they can do things. We carry with us all kinds of our history that sometimes isn't always positive. So just being around people that can be influencing us, that we are whole, that we are creative, that we are able to be successful is enough. And that's what I would like to share with people, that everybody can do that. They don't have to have a social media following. They don't have to be a TV host. They don't have to do what I do. There is something that we each have as a gift that is meant to be shared.
That's so beautiful. I totally agree, and I love that we get to have people like you ladies on the show. Really, I mean, I'm inspired sitting here. I know the audience is inspired. And so, Hannah, what would you love to just give the world that we haven't yet connected about?
Oh, sure. I guess I wanted to say that you are a brand. Like everyone is themselves. Everyone has their own things going on. And so if you are looking at making your social media a way to brand yourself more and to bring more people into whatever business you're starting, anything that you want to show, even if you're just a spunky girl that has some wisdom, that you can grow from there. You can make it your own.
I love it. And so what I'm really getting from this entire episode is just to shine your light in the way that you want it shined in the world. Like everyone has something to bring the world, no matter if it's in daily conversation, if it's in business, if it's in life, family, whatever. And so just to shine your light and make sure that you're being your authentic self. And another thing, I mean, that's huge, is that the mistakes that we make, or like the tragedy that happens, the bad things that happen that we don't necessarily look at as great, can bring us to the most beautiful life that maybe we didn't even know that was there for us. But great things are possible with everyone, and I'm super inspired by that. And I mean, definitely the audience can see that watching the show brings so much to the table. I mean, we're on a real estate show and we're talking about super inspiring, like heart touching things, and that not only, I mean, obviously women, men, everyone can really just be whatever they want to be. And so one last quick I guess what is just a little tidbit about what you maybe got from the other on the show. So yeah,
I'll go first.
Sure.
I feel inspired because as we go through life, you mentioned you want to feel beautiful, and life will just throw things to you that can challenge that perception that you see when you look in the mirror, but you define who that is. And I love that message, and I think that we need to share that message with people and help them bit by bit to feel that way.
Gosh, well, you inspire me. Like, I can't. What show was it that we met on?
Truth.
Face the Truth. Yeah, I knew right away. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just aspire to be you in my future, because I just want to sit like you and carry myself like you. And so, yeah. I feel better just being around you.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you so much, ladies, Lyndell and Hannah, for being on the show. I had so much fun being here with you today. I know the audience enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Finest Women in Real Estate. I, of course, want to thank our sponsor, Fire Up Connect. And just know that you can watch The Finest Women in Real Estate 24/7 on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and YouTube. So we're making it easier to get all the amazing content that we have here. And I hope that you've felt inspired on this show, and just know that you can go out and be whoever you want to be in the world, and share your light and shine your light bright, authentically, truthfully you. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Kimberly Whitfield, and tune in next time.